Okay, welcome back. And I will be focusing today on that T sensor. I do have a T sensor wire. I like to keep track of my temperature inside my case. And here's that T probe, the T sensor probe, I should say. Here it is. And I want to put this inside the case. Now, in order for me to get to that connector, I'm going to have to remove the GPU again. Oh, man. Like I said, the procedure is, if it's not done the right way the first time, you do encounter some procedures you have to go through to get to certain components of that motherboard. Well, in case anyone is wondering, what am I going to use a T sensor for? Normally what I would do, I would connect it to the motherboard, of course, and then have it run up to the very top of the case where majority of the heat stays or lies. So I like to have it sit someplace up here so that way it gives me an idea on the temperature with the overall case temperature on the top of inside the top part of the case, if that makes sense. Even in the BIOS, if you guys look into the BIOS on this particular motherboard, you will look for, I believe it's somewhere in the monitor section where you'll be able to see the T sensor that gives you the temperature within the case or whatever component you have that tip of that probe inserted. You can insert this into a GPU. You can insert it between the cooler or the processor, but I just like to keep it inside the case. Now here's one example. If you go through Armory Crate, go to devices, you'll be able to see hardware monitor, temperature, and there's an option for a T sensor. But at the moment, I don't have anything applied to it, so you're not going to see no temperatures applied here. But yeah, there's a T sensor that I like to keep track of sometimes. So this is through the hardware for the OLED. So if you take a look at the OLED, T sensor or T sensor OLED is NA Celsius. So there's no reading. So once I insert that T sensor, there will be a reading for the overall temperature of the case. Now that the PC is off, I'm going to connect the T probe or T sensor to the motherboard and have it go up maybe towards the center, route it close to the center or more towards the front of the case. I don't think a lot of people actually use this, but I'm one of those guys who uses it. And once it's hooked up, I'm gonna show you two ways to watch it. Is through depending on the motherboard, you have Armory Crate, and then you have the BIOS. I will be showing you guys those two once the T probe or T sensor is inserted.